Welcome back, everybody. For those that haven't been following the series, this is my sort of SHOT Show in the Carolinas this year. So as I'm filming this, this is day one of SHOT Show, and we have this little guy right here. This is the Streamlight Siege X lantern and flashlight combo. This is being debuted today out at SHOT Show. We have it here in the Carolinas. Then we also have this guy here, which you guys have probably seen on the channel before. It's the Super Siege. This is a big mamma jamma and has a ton of output. This one's really cool and innovative. So we're going to kind of get into both of those here. Coming up next, we're going to let the dogs take a look at it, make sure it gets their seal of approval. And then after that, we're going to go outside into the frigid nighttime here. It's down, I think it's like 5 degrees with the wind chill out there, which is insane for this part of the country. We're going to go out there and see how these things compare in terms of output, and then come back in and get into the details. Those of you who watch the channel know that we typically do all of our testing right here at this sort of 35 to 50 foot spot behind me. However, with these, it's going to be a little bit difficult. I'm going to have to kind of play it by ear. I have my ambient light off to the side right now, illuminating me, but of course, if I were to step aside, then that would make sort of the output here from these lights invalid. So what I'm going to do is turn it off. We'll test at least the flashlight portion of this one here out there at 35 feet, and then I may have to go down there and get a little bit closer to change things up for the type of output that these lanterns have. So let's get to it. As I normally do, I have my camera settings here as close to what I see with my human eye, so as close as we can get it with the lenses in the way anyway. This spot here where the wood meets the iron is approximately 35 feet away, like we just said. These trees are 40 to 50 feet away, depending on the actual tree. This is the output here on low from the mini lantern, as you guys can see in flashlight mode. Again, you can double click it and you guys will see high. That's pretty good output from something this small, rated, you know, for 300 lumens, I believe is what it is. So it's got a good hotspot, good candela, so it can get out there and throw pretty darn well. Just to give you an idea, this one here is the HLX. I think this is 1,000 lumens it's rated for. Of course, this is much hotter, has a brighter hotspot, but most tasks that you're gonna need a flashlight for, that one there is gonna be just fine coming out of that lantern. Like I thought, we had to move down here a little bit closer to the actual fence, and I'm gonna hit the lantern here. This is on low. So you guys can kind of see here how that would work for illuminating the area around you, and you can tap through it. Oops. There we go, and get it on high. So that's pretty freaking bright. I can easily see with my eyes, the camera may not reflect it. Out there towards where the lake is about 30, 35 feet away. I can see the edge. I can't, you know, differentiate what's on the edge, if that makes sense. So if there was, I don't know, a Glock mag and a Sig mag, I couldn't tell that there was a difference, but I could tell there was 2 mags, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the awareness that you get from this mode here. And we're just gonna compare it to the big lantern, since we're doing lantern modes now. And of course, this one has the way you can direct the light, as you guys see here, with that back piece there, which is nice. It gives you the ability to focus it and to throw it where you want. However, if you don't, you just want to use it in lantern mode. Again, we're going to have it just like this. And again, low mode here. Get up there. On the high mode, big difference here. I can tell you, again, just from that analogy, 35 feet away, I would easily be able to tell you which one was a Glock and which one was a Sig mag if they were there. So not just seeing the edge, you're definitely getting better throw out there. My front fence is about 50 feet away. I can clearly see the individual wood pieces and stuff like that. So you definitely get pretty good situational awareness with this one in the high mode all the way around. Again, you can direct it as well. And just wanted to kind of show you here the red mode. I would imagine this camera's kind of going to make this look a lot more white than it is in real life. Real life, it's very red. It is the color that you guys see here on my, on my sweatshirt. So what this is going to do, of course, is give you better night vision. It's going to preserve your night vision rather. So that way the difference between what I'm seeing in my work area and if I have to look out to a threat that may be further away or something like that, it's going to give you better awareness doing that. That's especially important for folks who are hunters, and also, of course, for our military folks who are, trying not to be seen at night when they're checking a map or something like that. Again, we're going to get it here with the mini. The red difference, honestly, isn't much between the two, which makes sense. Of course, both have the beacon modes as well, which you can program in if you want to use it for signaling purposes. But I do like the fact that it's not automatic in that regard. So I know some lanterns out there that are competitive on the market are only beacon in red. This one, of course, is not the case. If it wasn't apparent in the intro or outside when we were checking out the beam patterns, you guys can really get a good idea in terms of size here, how these things stack up. They're totally different in terms of size, totally different animals. Also, of course, in terms of weight, battery operation is going to be different as well. So we'll get into that because that's a very important thing. On the Siege X here, battery compartment, you're just going to twist the bottom off, which is a rubber bottom. It does have a D-ring built into it, just like this one does, our Super Siege. So it has the same capability, so you can hang it from that D-ring if you don't have anything that's going to go around the little handle here. Battery is going to be an 18650 rechargeable Streamlight battery. It's USB rechargeable, so you just plug a micro USB in there, and it will recharge it up for you. You can also use, of course, two CR123As should you choose to do so. I'd imagine most folks looking at this probably are not going to do that. However, this one, of course, the battery is just going to be plugged right in there, and basically you have a power bank by plugging in there, and you can charge anything with a USB port out of it as well. I believe it's over 10,000 in terms of power. You can charge, I think, a smartphone like 4 times. I'll roll the stuff in here on your screen. And then on the bottom of this one, again, we do have the same D-ring like I just talked about. We also have a waterproof storage container. This thing floats, so if you want to put your keys, some cash, an ID or something like that in there, you can do that, and you don't have to worry about it getting wet, even if you're out like rafting or whatever the case may be. It will be good to go. Operation's pretty similar. Handle, of course, is similar. The design's similar, and there's really not too much difference outside of the output and the battery life and the size, which, of course, I guess is significant. Here, you guys can see, kind of gives you the instructions if you don't know what you're doing. Press it, it'll come on rather in the low setting of whatever mode you were just in. So if you're in flashlight, it'll come on low flashlight. If you're in this lantern pattern, it'll come on low lantern. Apologize for my camera is actually looking like it's moving on you. That's just the way the camera works. It doesn't look like that in person in terms of the light beam there. And then once you're in the mode, if you wait a little bit, as you guys saw there, press it and it will go off. If you are quicker on it, like we just were there, it will go to the next mode. So you'll see it has 3 modes there, and you can also see this is our battery indicator as well. You can see I'm getting a little bit low there with the red. However, to change modes, you're going to turn it on and then hold, and it'll go to the next mode. Again, it's on the low mode of whatever it's on. Same thing here, we're going to press and go to the next mode, and we are in flashlight, same thing, low on that one. So that is the interface and how it works. On this one, of course, again, very, very similar. Press it, and go to red when you press and hold. Go to beacon mode, and then come back on. It goes into the low of whatever it just was on. So press and hold it again. Go with the light. As we've already shown, the cool feature that the Siege X has that this one doesn't have is the flashlight mode. However, this one here has a cool feature as well. If you turn the top piece here, if I can actually do it, there you go, pop it off, you'll see that we have our exposed light here. So these are kind of working as a diffuser on both of these to kind of diffuse the light and make it not so intense to your eye. If you want to hang this upside down and have a more traditional, traditional lantern type bulb, you can do that. You guys can see, I'm not sure if it really shows here on camera with the auto adjusting settings, but it looks like a lamp essentially when you turn it on. So you can change the modes and go through it like that if you want a little bit brighter environment and don't want that diffusion from the lantern lenses. We've covered most of the important details on these lanterns, at least as much as I think you guys can stomach in one video. So the Siege X here is brand new. Again, it's just being debuted as I'm reviewing it today, and I've had it in for a couple weeks now. They haven't, unfortunately, talked about price, so I don't know the price point on it. However, as soon as these are available, I will put a link down below in the video description where you guys can go check out the price and pick one up should you choose to do so. This guy here, the Big Mamma Jamma, is going for around $99 to $120 depending on the color you want, because it comes in this yellow, and then it also comes in like an OD green, Ranger green kind of color. Me personally, I wanted this one because anybody who's been outdoors and lose stuff at night, you want something that's visible and it's going to get your attention. Me personally, unless again you're in a tactical type of setting. Speaking of that, who's going to use these, right? I think folks who are outdoorsmen, guys who are really into camping, and then of course there's the military segment as well. That's where the red really comes into play. Not that outdoors folks don't need that, but in the military it becomes more important because sometimes people's lives depend on it. So for that, the big advantage here is that you have a storage capability, right? So you have the ability to store power, and it says 8,800 on the back. That's not correct. It's over 10. Like I said earlier, so the ability to recharge devices out in the field is nice. Now with something like this, of course you have the micro USB rechargeable battery. So if you had like a small solar charger and you were out in the woods, you could recharge that battery during the day, put it back in at night, and you're gonna last a long time with illumination if you had that combo. The weight difference, you know, it's really going to depend. This one obviously is significantly more, but if you're thinking factoring in like a solar charger, for example, maybe it's going to be closer when you add it on top of this one. But then, of course, you don't get the rechargeable capability inherent in this design. So pros and cons to each for sure. Both of them have a nice rubber ring around the top and the bottom, impact resistant, fully drop tested. This one I believe is IPX7. This one, like I said, you can throw it in the water and it actually floats, so don't have to worry about the water resistance there. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions about either of these lanterns, you can definitely post them down below in the comments section. I like both of them. I think me personally, I'll use this one more just simply because of size and the ability to throw it into something. However, during the hurricanes that we've had this year, I used this one literally every day. So it's been great. I've not had any issues at all out of it. And that's pretty much it. Again, if you have any questions, post down below in the comment section. You can also post over at my Facebook page. That's where I post deals. Should these ever go on sale anywhere lower than the prices that I just talked about, you guys will see them over there on my Facebook page, and lots of deals on other stuff, accessories, firearms, etc. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I hope to see all of you in the next video.